Live.
We are LIVE. Let me just go ahead and give us a little bit of music. Doughboy ain't even back yet. We do not own the rights to this here music. Feels good to be back in the building. Or maybe it's not the building. Feels good to be back on the panel. Should we do? Okay, I see a private message, what I'm seeing. There go Doughboy. Doughboy's in the building. Lola, where are you? We've been gone for weeks and we still can't get it right.
She had to go get her something to eat.
You know what?
No, we just. Gotta have sustenance.
Gotta.
There we go. And she's back.
And she's back. Welcome back, Lolo. You look upset.
She still looks like that disdain is just leaking out of.
Can you hear me, Lolo?
We've been doing mic checks.
Lolo.
If she go back and watch the show, she's gonna be sick as a dog. Like she's been doing mic check, and we was on the phone earlier today. Like it was working.
Lolo.
I'll give her that much. It was working.
Well, she don't hear me calling her name, so something's happening.
Something's wrong.
There we go.
It's a dead cat on the line somewhere.
So I was looking at that poster. I look a little bit underdressed for the occasion.
Nah, don't worry about it, man. You the best dressed. So.
Look at that. Yeah. I look a little underdressed right there. What's going on?
Yeah, you the best dressed.
Well, see, so there's a story behind this. I guess I could turn this down just a smidget. There's a story behind this. When I went scavenging through y'all's pages, I couldn't find a picture of you dressed up, and then it clicked. Wait a minute. That's the guy that always goes what? Left. Everybody else all dressed up, and he came to the party like he wanted to come to the party.
Hey, that works for me. Ooh, that's a good pick though. That's a good pick. Look at that cheese and everything.
Look, he showed up asking where the wings at.
Yeah, he wanted some chickens.
Hey man, I'm happy.
He was like, Lil Lucky. You remember Lil Lucky?
Should we do? Anywho, y'all, we are live. We're gonna try this. Lolo, can you hear us now? Hey.
Can you hear us, Lolo?
She can hear us now. She went back
I
to the
couldn't
phone.
hear you because it was pixel. I had no internet.
So, if I may make a recommendation for you to get this season off started, we got to invest in you one of them. What do you call it? Data cables. It's like a telephone cable.
Ethernet cable.
Ethernet cable.
Thank you. You're going to plug that in from your laptop directly into your modem. Direct connect. That should eliminate your swirly. Okay?
Swirly.
The swirly.
Y'all done moved in together, I see. Roommates. Okay.
Oh my God. Here we go. Gentlemen After Dark Wednesday,
y'all.
I'm
counting the seconds for y'all laughing. I'm just counting the seconds so I can know.
Hey, as you see, the fireplace is on that side. He got the half of the room.
Oh my God, here we go. I want to welcome everybody, man, to season number 14. It is the new edition of Gentlemen After Dark, the Grown People's Network or the Grown Folk Network, a place where grown folks can talk without judgment. Happy to have y'all here. Let me acknowledge some folks. No, you know what? We're not going to do that. We're not going to do the acknowledgments like that. We got to do some things differently. Let me kill the music. Thank you, Masquerade. I appreciate you. Anywho, happy to have y'all here. I'm going to go ahead and introduce this panel of folk that I got here. I'm not sure where Snoopy Cliff Mello is. Am I missing anybody else? Fuego.
Fuego,
Fuego,
fuego.
fuego. So let me go ahead and get started. Like, get that out of here. Get that out of here. Got to bring back them good sounds. We're going to start off. We're going to rotate some bodies here. So it's 3 ladies. Okay, I guess I'll put the ladies on the bottom. Y'all on the bottom tonight, ladies. All these fellas up in here.
On
Oh,
top.
putting in work up top, huh?
On top.
Good job. Doing good job.
Fuego is in the building. Here we go. What they say? The last shall be first, and the first shall be last. She is back, y'all, for another season of Gentlemen After Dark. It's our very own from the South Side of Arizona, Fuego, fuego.
Hi guys, welcome back.
Yeah. She's been working real hard, y'all, trying to get her stuff together. We fixed one part of it. We didn't fix the other. Ain't that right, 300? We fixed one part of it, but not the other. But we working on it. It is our very Lolo's turn.
Hey, y'all.
Woo, what's behind the door? The curtain? Look at her, y'all, live and direct. It's my sandbox herself. We hold hands. We go together. It's Miss Day, y'all.
Hello, welcome back.
She stepped out to go get something to eat. She kind of looking like Whitney Houston tonight. It's our very own. I want to dance with somebody.
Hey, y'all.
Oh,
Wait,
Miss
that's
T's
the other
in
roommate?
building.
She in the other room?
Hey,
Whatever.
I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing.
Nothing by nothing.
Shooby doo. It is the first roommate of the roommates.
Yeah, the housemates.
The housemates, right? It is the CEO. You know, he's saving money to keep that company growing. CEO of ChristianDingaling.org. It's our very own Mr. Devin.
Yep.
Whoop, whoop.
Good morning. You better believe it. Let's do it.
Oh man. He says that he is the best dressed trucker. Yeah, that was his formerly known as. Now he is simply Doughboy. Hashtag left turn, Clyde.
Left turn.
Left.
Oh.
Except
And so
on
I
pictures.
said this is the new edition. That's not Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike, but we got our very own. JP's in the building, y'all. He is the new edition. He's the other housemate. You know, he roommating big time, boy.
he look like he got the master room.
Oh shoot.
He paid that extra on the rent.
Right. And last but not least, it's your very own. I'm your host, still holding it down for us. I'm Onyx. Your boy Onyx? Well, some
Some of y'all boys.
some of y'all boys. Everybody feeling good?
Yes,
Happy to
sir.
be back. Yes.
Yeah.
Miss Day, I see you was working on that background. I see you got a little color back there, boy. I see you. Shooby do. Look,
Yeah, I'm
at least you went all out. You didn't go cheap like the 2 guys that's roommates and stuff.
Wah, 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 wah. Just say I was going to be the executive producer. I thought this was the executive producer suite.
Oh, yeah.
We can fix it.
It was.
What we can do, we can fix it.
It's a community service room now.
Nah, don't worry about it.
Oh,
We're going to do that.
Well, I'm happy to be back with you guys, man. It's season number 14, episode number 1. We're going to try to do some things a little bit different, you guys, and hopefully I don't bore you too much. I do got a few little choice words to say. It has been a great journey to be able to host this podcast, to watch it grow up to the. Do we lose one? We lost one. But to be able to host this podcast, man, for 14 seasons is a big deal to me. I am going to reach out to each of you that are here in the neighborhood, as well as to my Grown Folk Network. It's time for us, you guys, to grow this panel, grow this station, grow this channel, grow this YouTube vibe that we got growing on. And I did say growing on. Just a quick story. When it was time for me to pay for the subscription for this StreamYard platform that I use, man, you guys, they doubled the price of StreamYard. It used to be $240. It's $440 to utilize this. It cost. And yeah, I reached in my pockets and I took care of it, but it's time to get some return for our investment. Time is money. Money is time. And at this point in my life, I don't have a whole lot of money just to be wasted. If that's the case, I'm going to waste it on Sasha Danielle Thomas and give it to her. With that being the case, I'm looking forward to a very active, proactive, creative season where we go all in. You know, I'm not expecting you guys to put your personal lives out on the forefront, but I am expecting us to interact like grown people. It is time for us to have some of those difficult conversations that we can't have in real life. Sounds good? Sounds fun?
Sound like a plan.
Sound like a plan.
Yup.
How that sound, roommate? That sound good?
Hey, I'm in the back. I can't hear you. You said what now? I'm in the back. With the extension cord plugged up so I keep the air conditioner rolling. Yeah.
So with that being the case, let's get this party started with no, not for real. Not for real. Not for real. Look, they went on straight hit mode. Like, really? Come on back from behind the curtain. Let's go. Let's go. We're going to do things a little bit different, you guys. We're going to engage in conversation, man. We're going to have some conversation based on conversations that we personally have had amongst ourselves or based on conversations. Sorry. Okay. Based on conversations that I've, partook in or partook. Is that right? And with other people. So I'm going to start the conversation off, and this is a conversation, y'all, with this topic. Companionship versus relationship. Companionship versus relationship. Why do we want to talk about that? I was blessed to have one of our neighborhood folk reach out to me and basically asked a question in regards to what is it that what are men looking for, from a woman in a relationship capacity? Is it just the wham bam, thank you, ma'am, that hits the bone and get on? What are we looking for? So I got to thinking about it. The new catchword that I keep hearing out here in society, in the words of the dude, is companionship. Some of us have gone as far as saying, hey, I'm just looking for companionship. I'm not looking for a relationship. I'm looking for companionship. So I want to explore the difference between relationship, companionship. And anytime anybody wants to start, jump in, let's make it happen. The best conversation is the one that we feed off of each other. So let's start off with the companionship part. Anybody interested solely in companionship or know of anybody just looking for companionship? Not a relationship, just companionship. Let's go.
I know I, for one, have a couple of friends who are just down for companionships. Like they are exhausted from previous relationships and emotionally investing that deep that they're cool with just, they have their own. They don't need to cohabitate. They're not looking to get married. They're cool with just someone to chill with every now and then, travel with every now and then. I mean, there's no real commitment A few steps above a friendship.
A few steps above. A few
And
steps
actually,
above.
A little deeper.
Well, the definition, I looked it up. It says companionship, well, the level of emotional investment is what sets companionship and relationships apart. Companionships tend to be more casual, as Fuego just said, with less emotional vulnerability. Relationships, on the other hand, involve deeper emotional connections and a greater willingness to be open and vulnerable. That's what it says.
Okay.
So I would agree that I think companionship is just, you're just hanging out. It's something to do when you want to spend time with somebody, you can. There's not a lot of strings attached. It's just, we spend time when we spend time. You go home, I go home, whatever. There's not a lot of expectation. So it makes it easy for some people today. They don't want the complications, as they say, of relationship. But we also know, at least I know, because I've seen it, where women will say that. Some women I've known will say that or make that statement, but yet they actually transition it into a relationship, although they're saying all I wanted was companionship. So, we also have that part to deal with. So if you can't really handle the companionship thing, don't do it.
Right, but the companionship is more of a supportive presence, right? Somebody that's supportive, something like you said, hanging out, having a good time with them. Basically, having a
Somebody to
friend
play
you
with.
can go to, right? Somebody to play with, an entanglement.
Mhm.
Oh,
Did he say entanglement? Shoot, he did.
That's where lines can get blurred, when
That's where, and that's the only point.
But even on a companionship, it can get confused if there's no boundaries, right? You got to set boundaries in a companionship.
Right.
But let's be real. We set a lot of boundaries. How many times do we cross, break, erase, get rid of? It just happens because, and I'm not saying it's always on women's side. Men, it happens to men.
It happens on both sides. Yeah.
Right.
But, so I think that's where, it can become a little bit more difficult.
Well, we grown. It's not a companionship. It's a friend with benefits. That's what it is.
Yeah, but that's it. When you put the sex in there, that's where things sometimes, evolve, and then it gets tricky.
Mm-hmm.
It gets tricky when y'all get to add sex in the mix. Sex always makes it tricky. It makes it slippery. It makes it interesting. But if you think about it, exactly, yeah. When you gotta have the companionship in order to get to the relationship. If you don't have the companionship and then you move into the relationship, don't try to go back and get the companionship later because it's gonna be too late.
Too late for the companionship, yeah.
Exactly. You need to build that and then build up to that if it can be. But I mean, it's like a stepping stone, in my opinion. You gotta have the companionship. You gotta be friends. You gotta be able to, dialogue without having to be all emotional, and then you can move into the relationship aspect of it. And if it works, it works. If it don't, be grown up to say it don't work.
Hello?
Well, yeah. Hello.
Yes.
Okay, so there should be clear boundaries about the parameters of each category. People are generally afraid to tell their companions or partners exactly what they want for fear of rejection. If you give someone their truths about their real desires based on who they are, it gets rejected. It can leave a person feeling like an outcast or empty or inferior.
Did you just speak of an encyclopedia?
No. No. This is how I talk. This is how I talk off camera. I actually do have sense. So,
you went to the back of the truck to get an encyclopedia. Where you at?
The most important part to either side is to know exactly who you are or close as possible, and being happy and secure as you can be before entering into any type of relationship that is geared toward the matters of the heart. That way, if you're rejected, then you are not left with that feeling of inadequacy.
I hear
Those are my
feedback.
gathered thoughts.
Boy,
What
you
did you
read
just read?
hard.
I
You
think
wrote
Right.
that down?
he wrote
I,
that for lunch.
He wrote it down.
Right.
So,
You got that off.
okay,
You got that off a fortune cookie. That's what he did. What?
no, that came off of here.
let me
Off
play
the
the
dome.
Don't Leroy.
devil's advocate as always. That's my job. Companionship. Usually, companionship is the start of a friendship where you are maybe compromising your standards for the sake of you wanting to be around a certain person, or just to have somebody to say, this is who I chill with, this is who I kick it with, right? You going, we said, be able to go hang, go to dinner, go on trips. In the words of I think that was Irma up here, bam, my companionship eventually turned into a relationship.
Because it's a stepping stone.
It can be.
Companionship to me sounds like you need an emotional support pet, so you should get you a dog or a cat or something. Like you just want somebody to be around when you want them to be around and sit when you want them to sit.
I mean,
There's a
No, I think, can y'all hear me now?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, we hear you.
A companionship parallels a relationship in that you both have agreed to something. Okay. Then it takes its own thing, because I had a companion some years ago, and we went to movies, we went out to eat, we just did stuff we like to do. We went to the same church, we had a good time. We knew we were friends, companions who were just hanging out. Then he eventually did meet his lady love, so backed out the picture because you don't have room for that.
but wait, you said you knew you was a companion. You said boundaries?
We both knew. Yeah, we both did. Yeah.
And y'all were doing stuff that y'all both like to do, right?
Yeah. Eat and go to the movies.
So you had a glass case.
We did what, hey, what you do? Sometimes it'll be spare of the moment, or sometimes we'll plan it. It didn't matter. There was never a disrespect about, oh, you just called me at the last minute, because I wasn't his woman. He wasn't my man. We weren't sleeping together. We weren't nothing. We were just companions having a good time. We were both single at the time. But then he eventually met the woman he ended up marrying, and no more companionship, because there's no room for that now. It's different. And there was no
Well, it's
hard
different
feelings.
now, but
It took a turn. He got in a relationship. So of course we weren't hanging out like that, just out of respect. He didn't have to tell me, okay, we can't hang out anymore. This is an unspoken thing. We both respected each other. We had a good time. I do understand that sometimes there's a hidden agenda by one party or the other, or both. Yeah, I'll be your friend, I'll be your companion, but they got something else on their agenda. That happens, but that wasn't the case. We were both friends and honest. But if you're not mature enough to say what you mean and mean what you say on both ends, it's not going to work.
so being transparent with each other, basically.
Absolutely.
Letting each other know what's going on. So you didn't have no sleepovers, no nothing.
Nothing.
Ain't no doing it. She said it was no doing it. It was just, they didn't go to sleep. They stayed awake. They wasn't sleeping together. They was awake. Okay,
There wasn't none of that.
I don't even have my dice.
Yeah,
but
I don't have a reason to lie.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's 8 of us sitting here on this panel. It's 22 folk out there in the audience. How many times? Well, let's narrow it down. We got one.
I mean, eventually it turns into a relationship, right?
No.
More than.
What did I just say? What
you
is?
Said
what
no.
I mean,
no. What I'm saying in general. I'm saying in general, not you. I'm saying in general. Some people it turns into a relationship. Some people it don't.
I did say that. I do understand
Right.
that people have hidden agendas. I do. And so for a true companionship, I mean, we're already friends, you know, and it was like, dang, I'm by myself every weekend. You guys, let's hang out sometime. And that's what happened. And it was cool. It was great. Till, like I said, he got into a relationship, and then, you know, I don't do that kind of stuff.
And that's commendable. Let me do that.
I don't think it's commendable.
No, it is commendable, because in society and where we live, come on, man. If I spend 2, 3, 4 days out of the week companionshipping, we going to eat, we going to the movies, we just hanging out.
We gonna eat ice cream.
You meet my friends. We going
not hold hands though.
I'm opening the door for you. I'm ordering the food for you. Sooner or later,
we gonna be a couple.
We holding hands. We go together. We go together.
We gonna be a couple.
I'm gonna say there's nothing wrong with that, as long as it's not like plotting. You know what I mean? We could have been hanging out and then realize we had a deeper connection, but we were two single people. But that's not what happened. We stayed true to who we want, what we wanted. We just wanted somebody to hang out with.
Companionship to me sound like the grown-up version of the friend zone.
What I'm trying to understand is why y'all trying to tell Miss Lolo what her relationship, her companionship is. What is she telling y'all what happened, and y'all
heard that part.
To believe it?
I'm not refusing to believe it. No, that's not where we're going with it. No, we believe what she's saying, but that's one out of
8
very many.
I will agree with you on that. I will completely agree with you on that. Like Terry said, people catch feelings. There wasn't no feelings caught in that situation. You know, it happens. Yeah. Even I said, you know, maybe we could have been, and then realized, hey, I kind of like you more than that. But no.
Especially
is that what you said?
Crossing, especially
that never happened.
Especially when you do, not Lolo, but when you do cross those blurred lines, as Fuego made mention right out the gate, when you cross those lines,
it's a wrap.
Companionship gets blurred out real quick.
Yeah.
Like, we just friends. We just go out.
That's not gonna work.
Okay.
You just sleep in my bed sometimes.
Right.
I sleep in your bed sometimes.
Naked.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a whole. Now you done crossed the line and did some other stuff, and you done. It's not just a companionship; it's something else. It's a situationship.
And that's where we are now. That's what this conversation is about. Those blurred lines. Lolo made mention of, you know, people come in with these hidden agendas, but sometimes there ain't no hidden agenda other than the fact that I just want to be with somebody. I just want to be around somebody. Man, I'm tired of walking through my door and there's nobody here, but I'm not giving up the goodies, the cookies, the whatever to nobody. But I do like your company. I do want you to come through and hang out with me and meet my friends, and we go to these.
And sometimes you do want them to, you know, come in and sit a spell, like somebody said. But
sit wherever you want to sit.
I mean, we are grown. It's like, go home.
Grown folk.
Don't leave nothing here. Take everything with you when you leave. It's possible.
So I feel like, to clarify a little bit, like a companion doesn't necessarily have to be the opposite sex. You can get companionship from like a gym buddy or some, you know, it could be one of your homegirls that come eat popcorn with you and watch movies. You know, it don't necessarily have to be a man and a woman, you know, because companionship can come from either direction or either side.
It's many definitions of companionship.
We're talking about opposite sex, right?
Yeah. Right.
Friends with benefits.
No, a companion can be a male or a female. There's no sex to what a companion can be.
But in this case, we're talking in this case.
Yeah, the topic is companionship versus relationship. So we are talking in a relationship environment.
Well,
No,
hold on
that's
now.
all
Hold on
in
now.
order.
Nowadays,
Girl.
There are same sexes of that
Oh,
there
too.
are
So
same sex now.
I
Come
leave
on
that
now.
We're not,
out.
Okay,
right.
well,
But
Not
I'm
saying
just
that.
saying there is, but
too
yes, we
convoluted.
were speaking of the other.
Could
Correct.
my
Yeah,
dog?
question.
Could my,
Let me, okay, go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, can my dog be my companion?
Yeah,
You know what?
Yeah.
You know what?
I have to. No.
That's what I'm
Short.
saying. Like a companion don't
Yeah.
have to be a
Yes.
opposite sex. It could. It doesn't necessarily have to be. It could just be somebody keeping you company. Somebody when you feeling
No.
lonely or you feel like you can call them up and come hang out with that. That's your companion. You know, just like Lo and Miss T,
No.
they could be companions for one another without being any sexual energy or anything geared towards that
Right,
involved. So
right.
that's what I mean by like a companionship can come from any direction.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah.
got
I
that.
have
And
plenty
honestly,
of those. I'm single and I have a lot of those
well,
companionship.
I know that when I went through my divorce, my kids were kind of like didn't want me to be home, by myself because we were divorced, and my daughter was in college, and my son, he stayed with his dad until that changed. But I got a dog for companionship because I didn't, I had not lived by myself and God only knows how long because I was married with kids and had family and all of that. So the, Munchkin, who's still around, that was my companion. Like, I wasn't at home by myself. He's who I talk to. I know it's crazy, but yeah. Sometimes when I'm home by myself, I'm like, oh my gosh. So I talk to the dog.
It's only crazy. It's only crazy if
It
he
sounds
talk back.
crazy to some people, but the dog didn't talk back. And of course, if I wanted meaningful conversation, shut up. If I wanted meaningful conversation, then of course I'd call my friends and family. But I'm saying, that was a different way of being for me. So coming home to an empty house was hard. So I had a dog. He was like my companion for a while until it changed. I mean, it might sound crazy and funny to people, and that's
No, it
okay, but that's
doesn't.
my
No, it's
truth.
not.
So
It
that's
doesn't.
just what it was.
That's real life. A lot of us
I
are
mean,
in search of both companionship, relationship. For those of us who live on our own, right? There's a lot of days that you go home or you come home, ain't nobody there but your pets, and you Jones for, you fiend for, you want somebody to be like, honey, I'm home. You want to hear some reaction other than the fish tank motor blowing bubbles for the fish to breathe.
Or the dog jumping
Or
on
the
you
dog,
and just
right.
barking.
You want to hear the voice of somebody else. Luther said,
absolutely.
a house
I
is not
mean,
home.
I can attest to that. And I have 2 dogs. And although I love them to death and they talk to me, I talk back.
Get on
all
your
that good
nerves.
stuff. No, it's not that. It's just they're not human. And during COVID, the first year I had my niece, and we, first responders, we worked the whole time, week on, week off. So I wasn't alone. The second half of it, it was just me. And it got to a point where I was just like, I'm sick of hearing myself think and talk. Like, it was really bad. It was sad, actually, because every single day, I'd rather stay at work than just come home every day, listening to the news. That's the same numbers and all that crap. I stopped doing all that. It was very stressful or depressing or both. I'm not sure. But
Right.
I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. And not too much has changed because I think, well, at least I do have A1 now. But yeah.
So I have a question. As far as companionships with the opposite sex, when do you know or can determine when feelings start to get involved?
Wow.
I feel like when you yearn for that person, like if they leave and you're like, dang, I really miss them. I want them to come back. Like, or you like make them, they become a fixture, and I don't know, man. When it accidentally slip in, I don't know. Like that's a tough
What?
question.
Accidentally
Man, you
slips
was
in.
doing
What? Wait,
good.
what?
You was doing good, boy. Then you went, come on, no.
You fell on the
Yo,
kitchen floor? Wait, what
you was
happened?
doing real
You know,
good. Just
you
I
trip,
Here's
think
you
when
it
fell.
might be insidious. I think it might be a little insidious. Like you may not realize it at first, and then you like start putting all that together and like, uh-oh, Houston, we might have a problem.
when you
Now,
start,
okay, so when that comes about, then that's when it comes into a conversation of
here's when
where
you
we
know.
go from here, right? Huh?
Here's when you know.
that what
When
Bobby
you
Womack said.
when you start getting mad at that person,
Mm,
when you start getting mad at them
Part.
because they didn't come,
mm.
with, like come
They didn't
over.
call.
Yeah, I was about to
You didn't
say,
call.
clear
I
that
didn't.
up.
Yeah, cause we, yeah,
Damn it, boy.
Oh my
Clear that
God.
up.
one bad sport. You gotta keep
Hey,
going.
focus.
They didn't respond at your timeline. I don't know. They might have left some dishes in your kitchen. Who knows? You get mad for some reason, for no reason. Why? Why did you get attitude? What you
Catching
mad about that for?
feelings.
Y'all just companions. Y'all just friends. Oh, I'm not gonna be available. I'm gonna be going over here with my boys, or I'm hanging with my girls. Well, why you got to do all of that? I thought we was. That's when you know.
Yeah.
Or if you find out they got a significant other at some point in time that they didn't have, now you in your feelings, you know.
You drove it in
Miss
because
T
now
over
you
there
like,
having
what?
a
Yeah.
ball.
Or
Yeah.
when you not clear in the beginning and you're thinking one thing and they're thinking you thinking relationship and they're thinking companionship.
Companionship is an extended period of time before it even gets to a relationship.
Yeah.
It's I think you invest more time in the companionship piece
Yep.
before you can even get to a relationship. That's your pre-relationship. Like somebody said, it's the stepping stone to
Yeah.
the relationship. What we don't do, where we fail at the most, I'm looking for a companion that I can grow into a relationship. How many
Mhm.
times have you heard that?
Yeah.
You
How
hear,
many,
I'm
how
just
many
looking for
times was it
somebody
true?
to hang out with me sometime, to go to the movies with me sometime, to go to dinner with me sometime, to come over and sit on my couch and watch movies sometime. But when that sometime becomes all the time, frequently, you've already crossed over into Macedonia. We've already crossed into relationship world, for real. But we don't acknowledge it in advance. We pretend not to see that the ultimate goal of companionship is to get to the end of the rainbow, which is relationship. Like Irma said,
Companionship.
eventually my companionship turned into a
A
relationship. That's what
companionship.
it is. So if you really want that, cool. I'm gonna phase us out of companionship. I don't know who's all that noise, but I'm gonna phase us out of companionship into this, or companionship into versus relationship. Regardless of what side of the spectrum that you starting with or you want to end with, companionship or relationship, we all know that we want somebody. We want to be with somebody. Can you guys please tell me, expand on it? Please help me understand. Neighborhood, y'all too. Why do we dog each other out? If I like you, I like you. If you like me, you like me. But we just be dogging each other out. Why?
Because we
Like I
don't
said,
like you.
It started.
I mean, yeah,
What she say?
what more can you ask for? It's just,
because we don't like you.
I don't like
We
you.
don't like you.
And you finna get all this work because of that. So, sorry. You can leave when you want to, you know.
Oh man.
Right. I mean, that's basically it. When you dogging somebody out at this particular age, you just don't want to be bothered. You just wasting people's time. And that's when a
Mm.
conversation needs to be had and or let it go. Because if you at this age and you dogging somebody out that you say that you care about, you don't really like them. You don't really care about them. And that's the conversation we need to start. That's what we need to start doing, being adults about being in these relationships or companionships.
No doubt.
Onyx, we've had this conversation before. We all say, men say they want the same thing. Women say they want the same thing. We all saying we want the same relationship, but a lot of people are still single. So where is the communication breaking down?
Well, because
There is
the
no
relationship,
communication. That's why it's
if you break the word relationship down, you have to relate. Like, so people are trying to pair with people that they can't relate to, or they have no relation to have a relationship with, and it makes for a hard process, and you end up dogging each other out because y'all don't really relate. You gotta like what likes you, and find some common ground to be on. Because if you don't, then it's gonna be that cat and dog kind of fight type, situation going on.
I've heard what you said before. That phrase, "like who like you."
Mm-hmm.
But what's wrong with reaching for the stars if I like something else? What's wrong with that?
Nothing until you get that heartbreak later on
Get
down the line.
hard.
It's like, you know what? I should have left this son of a gun alone because they didn't like me and they showed me in the beginning, but I kept trying, I kept pushing, and they gave in, and now they tired of faking the funk. So now they can't let me down easy. So now I'm screwed because I thought I was wearing them down. No, you wouldn't. They were just tired of you. They was tired of saying no, I'm good. So they said, okay, we can go out on a date. We can go watch Netflix and maybe even do it. And then you look up and like, but don't you love me? No, I told you that in the beginning. And now you, what we gonna do? We ain't doing shit.
We ain't crying.
What you gonna do?
Okay, so is this just me? Because I have found myself where you getting to know a person, whatever, everything always sounds good if you don't listen too hard, whatever. But you get to a point where you realize I'm not feeling this person. So you want to break away from them. I have issues because I don't like to hurt people's feelings. And so I try to be nice about it. And it always backfires. And I end up being like, I said no. Like it gets, I don't like that. Why can't no just be no? Like, I don't want to be with you. You cool, but you're not for me, and move on. Why does it have to be an issue? I literally had this issue a couple months ago, and the person told me it ain't over till I say it's over. And I'm thinking, over? It never began.
Like, fatal attraction over here. What?
Hey, once it start getting a little physical, you can't just turn back and turn the
it
light
wasn't
off.
Physical.
In your mind. Somebody might have thought it was. They might have been.
You can't think it's a kiss. And
people
it ain't
fabricate
no
a lot of stuff in their head, and it becomes real to them.
So true.
Well, that's why you have to stay honestly speaking. You know what I mean? You have to let a person know where they stand. You can't. I mean, everybody got feelings. So I have this thing called FYF. I don't know. Maybe I don't know if I can say it. Yes.
He's
when it comes to making decisions, you got to put your feelings to the side. Like, if I don't like you, I got to let you know because I can't drag this out. And then now, like somebody said something about fatal attraction and all this, and you're deeply involved, and I'm completely disconnected. But I've led you on because I didn't put it out
not
there.
what
Like,
I'm
look,
talking about. I hear you.
But I think also,
that's not what I'm talking about. I'm literally like, I truly do not like. I really don't. I don't like to hurt people's feelings. I like to treat people the way I want to be treated. So if I've come to a point where I'm like, no, this not gonna work. We don't click. Like, I didn't know the guy smoked. As soon as I found out he smoked, I knew it was a wrap. It wasn't like I let him on, and I can't say no. Like, I don't want to be with you.
You
I
can
like
let them
reading.
down easy. You don't have to be rude about it. But you can say, like, when it comes to hurting their feelings, like, it has to be said. It just the way that you say it can be delivered nicely, or it can be delivered in a doughboy manner, because you know I'm
I'm
not
not
necessarily
you.
nice all
I'm
the
me,
time.
and I
Or you
try
can
to be
put-
nice. But what
or you
my
can put-
point was, being nice, sometimes I found it doesn't work, and then that's where you end up feeling like you dogging out someone. Like you got to really put them in their place, because they don't want to hear no. They don't want to hear I don't want to be with you, no matter how you code it, you know. And I mean, I don't know how many ways to say it without. Once you just don't receive it, I'm like, okay, now I just got to smash you in the face with it. I don't get that.
Sometimes it might be what it takes. Everybody doesn't get it. Like, oh, okay, that makes sense. I see what you're saying. Some people I try to be nice. Hey, look, this is not working. I'm not feeling you like that. If they don't want to hear that, okay, call the police and put a restraining order on them.
Or
If it gets to that point.
tell them I'm pansexual and you're a skillet.
So what?
Don't ask him to explain that.
Don't do it.
Ask him
Don't.
to explain it, please.
Forget
But
about it.
do you think that some of that though has to do with the conversations that were occurring prior to you stating, okay, this isn't working, or I don't want to do this? Because sometimes, we don't intend, or maybe the intention isn't to lead that person on, but if you entered into this, whatever, companionship, friendship, whatever you want to call it.
I don't even think it was there yet. This
But
particular,
I
mean, I guess like somebody said, they could think. I'm saying we haven't even got physical. We ain't holding hands. We ain't kissed. We ain't laid down. Clothes on.
But
none of that.
in your conversations,
We're
in
having conversations. You're getting to know a person.
have you told them your turn-ons and turn-offs?
I like boats. You don't like, but whatever. We've had lots of conversation. Not saying we haven't.
Did you tell them you don't like smokers?
I never said I didn't like smokers because I didn't know he smoked.
I mean, but
I never knew he smoked until the first date. Right. We went on our first date, and that's when I was like, "Uh-oh."
Did you tell him then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't ignore it. Yes,
you gotta change your phone number then. You gotta change your phone number.
Detection program. Fuego, what do you think, Fuego? I want to hear Fuego.
On platforms and change your phone number.
See, I just said the same thing. Change your phone number with the detection.
No, I was thinking along the same line, like they were talking about, like in the conversations, were you being transparent? Because along the way.
So I was going to get there, but I didn't get a chance to get finished what I was saying. But yeah,
yeah, I hear you. I hear you. T. I hear you.
I'm sorry, Miss T. I'm sorry.
Sometimes, because the question says, why do we dog each other out? Sometimes I hate to say it, but some of us need to be dogged out. Sometimes.
Why you want to DOG me out?
However,
do it.
In this case here that we're referring to with Lolo, it to me, and I'm no psychiatrist, psychologist, nor am I a gynecologist. However, sometimes we feel that we've communicated our part so properly when the people ain't paying attention. What they see is what they want, and that's their focus, right? All those conversations on the telephone, via text message, inbox. I'm going to know if you smoke, if you are active, how active are you? When was the last time? Those we asked all those questions. When was the last time? Who was it with? Da 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 da. I need to know, do you smoke?
You know what? It never occurred to me to ask him that because we've known each other for many years, and I'd never known him to smoke in the past. So I ran into him at the rodeo, X, Y, and Z. So it didn't dawn on me to ask, did you pick up a horrible habit now? I didn't think about it. So and I take that, but that's a hard no for me always. So normally I probably would have asked someone I didn't know at all, but I didn't realize that he had picked up smoking. So Okay, I could take that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's the getting to know you part of all of this. For companionship, for relationship, or anything, I want to know about you. What makes you tick?
I mean,
should
it's just
want
like
to
a
know about
job
me.
interview.
Yeah, right. You're
Yes.
trying to find out. You're trying to find out your deal breakers. You know what I mean? You gotta see if you want to take it, to the even next
To the next
conversation.
level. Correct.
Yeah.
Do I want to talk
The
to you
next
again?
conversation, is it worth it?
Yeah,
I'm
that
not-
first conversation is a job interview.
I'm not sure who recommended,
Absolutely.
First
but
couple.
somebody
Yeah.
recommended this show called Later Dater. I don't remember who recommended it, but I watched
Later
it.
dater.
Later Day. I watched the whole entire thing. It was
The old people dating.
older people, us age, minus, a couple of us up in here, but the 50s people. And they went on like 3-4 different dates, each person. And Sean, thank you, Sean. Each person went on the date, right? You had some beautiful ones, you had some not so beautiful ones, you had some we grown. You got ailments, the whole 9 yards. But to see the whole dating process, I'm gonna recommend that each of us on this here panel take a look at it. Later Dating.
Where is that at?
That was on
Tubi.
No.
No.
I
I think that was.
Is it Netflix?
I think it is Netflix.
Look it up. Later.
Later Dater.
Later Dater. Okay.
So the people that you think should be together, they wasn't. And then there was one guy. Netflix? Perfect.
Yeah.
There was one guy who he was military, right? He thought he found the one. Like, I really like her. And they were sitting there chilling. Here we go with the questions. So you're military, huh? Yeah, military. So you kind of have like OCD? Well, no, not exactly. Okay, so what if we're going out on a date and I pull all these clothes out of the closet and just lay them on the bed? Oh no, you're going to have to put those up. We're not going nowhere until you put those clothes up. Yep. She was like,
pop the balloon.
In his head, he was thinking, oh, she nasty. She messy. I can't be with her. So he opted to go back with this other lady that he went on a date with. And she was like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm in a relationship now. It was only like 3 weeks that had passed before they had, from the time they went out till present. 3 weeks. He was like, well, dang, she already in a relationship. So long story short, he ended up on his own.
I thought he was gonna end up with his ex.
That's where he really needs to be.
They were like companions, and she was like a good wingman. I think they should have got back together.
Yeah, there you go. Gotta have a companionship first.
But all said and done, you guys, we have to stop shying away from the conversation piece. We have to stop shying away from being able to speak our truth. If it's something you like it. If it's something I don't like it, you got to speak it up and say it. I don't care for that. So that person can make the adjustment or
make the decision.
Thank you.
An informed decision.
Speak up on it.
That's our time. Thanks for coming out. God bless. But there ain't no second date off of this one. Right? Mm-hmm. Then you don't have to worry about, well, I hurt your feelings, man.
Right.
If I don't want to be around you, I don't want to be around you. I'm going to protect my peace. Somebody said, what the stewardess say on the plane, put your mask on first before you try to help somebody else. I'm going to take care of me.
Yep.
Okay, but let me say this, because I don't want to be grilled on my first date. I want to just see if we catch a vibe. Okay. You know what I'm saying? If and then maybe on the the phone conversations is where we'll get to know each other. But we're going out on the first date. Don't be grilling me. That's gonna turn me off. I just
Yeah,
want
but
to
then
see.
I don't want to waste my time though. I wouldn't want to waste my time.
Well, I
So
just
it's
want
not
to
a
see on
grill,
the
it's
first
just a
date
conversation.
if our energy is good. If our energy is good and because we ain't going out on the first date unless we have a phone conversation first anyway.
If it's
But
within the first couple of weeks or whatever, that's a person's stick, man. That's not the real person. A person is gonna put their best foot forward. They want you to see all their good attributes in the
yeah,
beginning.
They
If that's not
representative.
really if that's not really who they are, it's gonna fade away over time. You can't hold up a fake person or a fake,
Forever.
like who you
I
are
mean, light
for a long period
question,
of time.
light conversation is okay with me, but I don't want to be on a date somewhere and we having a deep conversation. That's not my vibe.
And
That's
I get that.
I respect
I
that.
think when you meet people, I think when you meet somebody and there's something that drew you to each other. So for me, that's a little bit of that. Like if we were drawn together, and I'm choosing to go on a date with you, then our conversation, at least for me, because I'm a little bit more, I'm really kind of cut to the chase and no nonsense, but not in a way that makes you feel like I'm just grilling you. But I think a part of the conversation, I want to understand, like, who are you and what are you about? What are you looking for? Because I'll ask that outright. Like, what are you looking for in this? Because if it's just companionship, that works, cool. Relationship, cool. Sex, cool. Whatever it is, as long as we're agreeing, I'm good with that. But I think for me, and I completely understand and respect what you're saying, because who wants to sit across from a table from a person who's just going down a checklist of questions? I'm saying it, but I am also stating that you can interject those questions in such a way where you're getting the answers through a reasonable conversation, as that person's going to do, I would assume also, because we are at a place in our lives at this age, in my opinion, where we don't want to just spend a lot of time nonsense, because now we're 2-3 weeks down the line and maybe the person that I should have been spending time with, I'd have missed out on, because I'm sitting up here spending extra time with a person that now we really don't have anything in common. And I could have found these things out, but I chose not to ask questions that were important to me. And you get to choose whether you want to answer or not. But I mean,
I think that those conversations should be you should get the feeling before you even decide to go out on the date, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. So you said on the first date you're being grilled, and I'm saying, but you wouldn't really be being grilled, because you've either had the conversation or figured out that vibe thing that you're referring to. So now if I am sitting across the table from you, I get to have real conversation with you about something more than just you look good, I look good, whatever, the frivolous stuff. I get to have a real conversation with you because I'm now in your face. I can see your body language and get more understanding of who you are now versus on the phone. That's that in my opinion.
What are the first date questions? Let's list those. What are the first date questions?
What are your long term? What are your short term goals?
What is your status?
Long term, short term? Oh no.
I mean, we can eliminate. Y'all laughing like this is not a serious thing.
No, but it is
No.
serious.
Because if both of us are trying to go towards being physical, we grown now. We grown. Hey, what's your status? Do you get tested often, like regularly? What's your health look like? Don't nobody want to get with somebody and they died right after that because they wasn't taking care of their health.
That's a first date question, or is that the conversation? Wait, I'm confused.
That's a conversation.
The conversation pre-date.
You can ask them whatever you want to ask.
Conversation.
You can have a conversation on the phone before you even go on a date. If you really want to get technical, y'all on the phone, y'all having conversations, y'all talking about stuff anyway, and it could be open ended. But hey, look, because people are not going to tell you off the top. Oh yeah, I'm. So that's a conversation that needs to be had if y'all gonna go forward in the relationship to where y'all are dating and then spending the night at each other's house and sleeping naked together and things of that nature. So
yeah, that's true.
I don't feel like any question is off limits. I don't feel like any question is off limits. I mean, because if we're trying to grow this, I mean, like piggybacking off what he was saying, I'm gonna know this eventually. if you eat your boogers, I mean, I'm gonna find that out. That's not something you can hide. You know, like, so if I ask you this question, although it may be off, no, I'm just saying, although it may be off, that's a legit question. You know, like,
if you
so
eat your fingernails and eat your boogers, huh?
yeah. I mean, do you? I mean, I might have been joking, but that's a serious question. Like, do you eat your? Because that
Is
might
you
be something
asking
I
me the
can't
Because
go
question?
deal with.
everybody has different things. Yeah, that's a
Right.
thing for you.
And
So you
so
need to know.
I think there's just a natural flow. You get the type of energy that you get from a person, like you know if I can ask this kind of question, you know, like, do you do anal? Do you give head? Like,
Do you
if
do?
if they're not that type
Wait.
of person, what? What? And I'm talking about the energy and the vibe that you get. You know from the natural flow of the conversation, the type of questions you can ask. I'm gonna ask whatever comes right here if I want to know it.
Me
And
too.
if you
Me
don't,
too.
if it's off putting to you, then you might not be the one for me. Like that's okay.
Somebody's
I
asking me
respect that.
questions, other person.
Jello pudding.
Nah.
Do you like baby oil or not?
Hey man, look, there we go. No, let me have her. Let me
Can I
have
say
her.
something?
Or if they show up to the brunch with baby oil, you know, hey, if that ain't your
Run.
thing, that ain't your thing, you know. But if it is, more diddy to you. I mean, more power to you. You know.
Oh man, that man said Mo Diddy.
Let me say this once again. I am not a psychiatrist, but I'm living and learning, y'all. At 56 years of age, I'm living and learning based off of my own personal interactions, based off of what I hear from others and have seen from others. Ms. Day asked the question, what are some of those first date questions?
Oh, that's
My
the
Do you
question.
take people to Applebee's?
hold on. My summation of this question is that we don't have any good questions for a first date because we're so focused. We done shot past, let me get to know this person, to all of the stuff we just done heard, from the yucky to the sure don't, right? Where's the simple, Dana said the vibe. Where's the simple, I like energy. I'm having fun around you. We done fast forwarded right on into, we sleeping in the bed, we naked next to each other. What's my last name? What's my middle name? What do my friends call me? There's a whole lot of questions that could be asked. Where did you grow up at? I don't know. It could go on and on. It's the
That's what I'm saying. The
conversation.
light-hearted questions,
Yeah,
right?
we don't
Right.
entertain
Right.
the
I
conversation.
think that the natural conversation will bring about natural questions and answers. But if you're sitting there with this, I'm trying to get to the draws, and that's all I care about, then yeah,
Well,
you know, the questions, your approach is different. You know,
Because there's
yeah, you
definitely
want to
no
be real, but
second
you
date with me
I want to
asking
be
me
real in a
questions
natural
like that.
setting. Like,
No.
I don't want to sit there feeling like I got a clipboard, but I definitely want to get certain answers answered. But I want to get it more in a natural way. I want a vibe. I'm like Liz Day. I want to have a vibe. I want to talk to you. I shoot straight from the hip anyway. I want to talk to you, but I don't want it to seem like you're at a firing range, or I am, and all these questions are just coming out, because that's going to kill the vibe anyway. Ain't gonna be a
Do you
vibe.
like to take long walks in the park?
You're not interested in that person.
I can get that. I can
Because I
get with that. That's a question I
Not
can
too
get
long.
with. But if we having
I'll
sexual
take a walk, but it's got to be short.
conversations on my first date, me and you, we good. I'm good. I'm good. That's not what I'm trying to
But
do
to
on
get
my first date.
to get to that first date, it comes with the conversation of asking questions, right? To whether to know if you want to go on that date with that person.
That's what I'm saying. When you first meet me and you start talking about sex, we good. I'm good on you. That's not what I'm trying to do. That's not, when I'm just meeting somebody, don't be coming
Turn
out
off.
the park talking about sex with me. That is going to turn me off of you. That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
For me.
Right.
For me.
Right. So it's
I
just
can
more.
think
It's
of,
just more so ice breaking questions, right? Just breaking the ice,
Yeah,
asking general
that's
questions,
what I'm saying.
getting the
Lighthearted
conversation
question.
going, and then once you get going, you start asking deeper
Yeah,
questions.
exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. See, people don't want to take the time to court no more. People don't want to, like, I don't know who said that, but they was like, I don't want to waste my
I think
time.
it was
I
Taraji.
mean, when are you wasting your time and when are you taking the time to get to know somebody? You know
Absolutely.
what I'm
Well,
saying?
that's because life moves at a fast pace. How it's set up with people working, social media, and how easy. So back in the day before there was social media or dating sites, you had to court somebody because you only had so much time. You had to maybe walk to their house because not everybody had a car. You had to meet their parents. You had to, or they aunt and uncle, whoever stayed with them, ask them out if you could take them out. You had the court. Now you don't have to court, and there's people who are willing to take the shortcut. So that's one of those things that when you talk about, you tell a man or a woman, hey, I want to court you. I want this process. I don't want to just um skip to Z. I want to go through A, B, C. I want the whole process. Because if you don't specify, then because you can just hop on an app, swipe left or swipe right, meet somebody that night, smash them, and go on about your business. And that cuts out the courting process. So depending on what generation you're from, though, that can be the whole difference. And because I'm on the cusp, I remember courting. I remember I had to go meet my girlfriend's mom. I caught the
Yes,
tail end of that,
correct.
but you don't have to
Mhm.
do that no more.
Anybody ever had a conversation that lasted for hours
Yep.
with somebody
Uh,
that
y-
they
oh yeah.
really don't even know? They didn't know. You just talking. They might be at work. You might be at work,
Yep.
and you just talking, and the conversation went from what's your favorite animal at the zoo to
Yep. Mhm.
what was the last thing you ate? It just covered a whole broad spectrum.
Hey,
And
I
That's
had
that
a
yeah.
conversation for 4 hours.
there you go.
And we
That's
talking
That's
that's
like
what I
the
meant by
the
natural
natural
conversation.
vibe of a conversation. That's where you learn
Yeah.
certain things. And if you're paying attention, men and or women, if you're paying attention to who you're talking to on the phone, you're gonna learn so much about the person without even having to
That
ask
part.
clipboard for the
That's
Right.
what
question.
that's what I'm
Because
Right.
saying. It's just a
A
conversation. You're
natural
just
That's all it
conversation.
is. Yeah.
that's
Yes.
all.
you're right.
That's
It's
all.
it's just and you can get a vibe from that conversation.
Yes. What you doing?
Absolutely.
You can
Oh, I'm
get a
at
vibe
work.
from that conversation of,
You be waiting for the
oh,
next
this
call.
Yeah.
right.
all
It's like
conversations
I
should
couldn't.
start with, are you ordering from the left side of the menu or the right?
New season, new season, new season.
The left
Some
side.
things
But
just don't
No, but
change,
it's
A
it's
good
for
I
real.
will say this though. In all of that, you still have to know what it is that you want in that moment. You might want
Yep.
a relationship, but tonight you want something else. Be upfront with that too. Be upfront
Yep.
with it all the way across the board. If you want sex tonight, say that. So when the person that you're talking to doesn't feel like, okay, well, I
Yeah.
feel like I'm really having a vibe with this person, and all they want is your body for that night. And then the next day they may say, you know what, I do kind of want to have those long walks in the park after what we did last night. I'm back to wanting that now. So you have to be real with yourself and what you want in that moment, because what they may give you later on is what you want right now, and vice versa.
Transparency is crucial. Crucial.
Yes.
No
Yep.
problem.
Absolutely.
I think that we forget the fun part of all of
Yeah.
this. In order to get the vibe, there's a phrase, cat and mouse. Cat and
Yep.
mouse exists for a reason. I chase you for a little bit, you chase me for a little bit.
Chase me for a little bit. Yeah.
We chasing each other and don't even realize we chasing each other, but we just trying to learn. Man, I'm just trying to suck up all the energy I can get and learn all I can learn. Like I'm taking notes. Oh, I know she like this. I know she like that. I know she kind of shy a little bit. let me see if I can help her get out of her shy mode without even, I ain't coming, with the sexual conversation. Maybe it's innuendo-ish. Maybe it is softly because she.
But let me piggyback off of that, because a woman knows what she's going to do when she walks out that house. A man is always guessing.
Well,
in that dating.
Right. Do she really like me? Do she?
Right.
Like
A man is always guess. A woman knows what she's going to do when she leaves that house, when she goes on that date. A man that whole night, like you said, you're courting, you chasing, you're basically doing everything right to make what you think could possibly happen, or if it does happen, or if it doesn't happen. You're still going to enjoy yourself on that date. Whether she orders from the right side or the left side, you still going to pay the bill.
That part.
Right?
Right. I mean, because that's just what a gentleman does. I got you.
That's what a gentleman does.
At the same time.
I mean, chivalry is not dead. Like you said, I open doors. Don't touch that door. When I go out on a date, you do not touch that door. Chivalry is not dead.
And that's part of courting also.
Chivalry is not dead. It's
correct.
Just older fellas. That's all. The youth don't have chivalry. For the young.
But when you're done courting me, that doesn't mean you stop.
Wow.
True. That is true.
The other part of it, I think the other part of it that we all forget as well is all these same things, the fun, the laughter, all of that stuff is still critically important. And to me, that's where I feel like a lot of us go wrong. We get to the complacent state, or, the cat and mouse game is kind of ended. And I'm saying, but we should continue that. We should continue to figure out or find other ways to engage and re-engage each other. So it's a consistent thing. Now, life does happen. I'm not saying every day is that, but I believe dating each other is still important within your relationship. I think those things are great because it does, you do nice things that are just not on the holiday times and all of that kind of stuff, because life is just happening and we don't know what's going to happen. We only have what's happening in the moment. So I think being clear and helping your person to understand that, you're important to me every day, not just on holidays, or, I want to do nice things for you because this is what we've done. And why does it ever stop? But we stop because, it's like, okay, I got it now. And now we're just living this mediocre kind of existence. And that to me is
getting
unfair.
comfortable.
You got to keep it
right. Getting comfortable.
You got to keep it. But
getting
we don't
alive.
I think laughter is fun.
All treat each other how we want
to be treated.
If we all did that, unless it's just somebody you're not interested in, then cut them loose. But if we all did that, we would not be having this conversation still right now.
For sure. Yeah. And I know I've been guilty of it. I mean, I know I've been guilty of it, especially if I've somehow grown a resentment around something. Then I'll go, well, I've been doing this and still doing this. And why am I? What about you? Well, I can't say the what about you. I just have to keep doing what I think is right in my heart. And if I'm doing those things, then, the hope is that it will change. And if it doesn't, I have a decision to make. Not you, I do. So, but it doesn't happen without the conversation and the communication and being open and letting you know. Because sometimes we think you just should know. Well, no. Because I hear women say it all the time. Well, he should know. Should he? We think he should know. But tell him, because maybe he forgot. I don't know. I mean, I get the wrath for that too, but I'm just saying we are all imperfect people, so it's okay to remind people. Sorry, say that again, Ms. Dan.
I was saying because sometimes, everybody's relationship is different and maybe he didn't have that before, So it all boils down to communication, listening and being heard.
We listen, but we don't judge.
Yeah, we judge.
You know what? Miss T reminded me of something that I was gonna say to that question, and I forgot. about why we dog each other out. I think sometimes that somewhere along the line, resentment does build. Knowingly, maybe not knowingly, or whatever. You build a resentment against a person, especially when you're not just transparent from, the gate. I found out you smoke, hey, deal breaker. Instead of the other way around, like, oh, maybe I can deal with the smoking, and I'm half dead over here because I can't breathe. And resentment may build up sometimes when you don't even realize it, and then that equals dogging out people. I think sometimes, you just like, I just don't want to see their face anymore, and you dog them out.
People learn that at a young age. When you like somebody, but then you treat them bad to see if they gonna stay. Because remember when we were kids, and
the little boy pull your hair,
hair and stuff like that, and with the parents say, oh, they only do that because they like you.
Yeah,
like you. Yeah.
That's true. We learn it so young, and then we take it into adulthood. Like, you really like this person, but you gonna treat them kind of funky, to see what their reaction is, or if they gonna stay. And then you get mad when they not interested no more because you playing the game.
Yeah, cause hair pulling now is a whole nother meaning. When I'm pulling some hair, it's a whole nother ball game. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to snatch some lace front off.
Put your mic on mute.
Okay.
Out.
You need to pull that steering wheel, get back on the road. That's what you need.
Actually, I do. I'm about 15 minutes behind schedule, but I'm good.
Yeah, I think the more we entertain these good conversations, because we done learned conversation in season number 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, conversation, how important it really is. But the sad part is we still are lacking in engaging in it. We still are not doing it. We still at a loss on what to talk about. And all you got to do is look at some of them inboxes that some of y'all have received, them DMs. Hey, mama, you sure looking good over there. Woo. Yeah. Oh, I saw you. Oh, okay. It's the little simple stuff. I mean, physical attraction is important. However, once you get past the, okay, I like you. Now where are we going? What are we doing after that? We have to find a way to
mental attraction is good too.
Sapiosexual. Look it up. Sapiosexual.
Mental, physical.
Stimulate.
Mental attraction is good too.
Yeah.
Stimulate, right. Right.
That part.
Everybody wants to be stimulated.
That part. So I don't know.
Ain't that right though, boy? Everybody want their hair pulled.
Why you asking him questions? He's on time out.
By the right person.
But I got put in timeout, so I'm still in the corner.
Oh, you got to turn around if you in timeout. Turn around.
I think
we gotta stop playing these games. We too old for it. We want relationships. We want companionship. We want to. What we want is to not die alone.
Hello.
Right.
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 That's the bottom line. We don't want to die alone. And I'm not talking about you have your kids and stuff. I'm talking about somebody who is going to be there for you when you are sick. Somebody that's going to be there for you so you don't have to come home alone. You can have a conversation. You can have a cup of coffee in the morning. Like, we don't want to hear the story of, well, what happened? Oh, well, we had to do a wellness check. They've been dead for 2-3 days. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we gotta stop playing these games with each other and be real with one another.
Yep.
Stop being an
asshole. You gotta be open.
You don't want to be in a relationship. Just like Devin said, if you want sex and that's all you want, stop messing with people who want to be in a relationship. Let's get grown. It's grown folks. Let's get grown.
I agree with you.
like, comment, and subscribe.
Y'all heard it first. Like, comment, and subscribe. Shoot, we do. Right? Mic drop. Kaboom.
So going on what you said about nobody wants to die alone. Okay, so what are you willing to put up with? Not you personally, just in general. What are you willing to put up with in order not to die alone? You know, like what if a person does smoke and you don't smoke? And is that enough to overlook to not die alone, or
that's not the person for
eating
you.
their fingernails?
That's not the person for you. We're not talking about settling. Although there are a lot of people our age who are settling. But we got to be real with ourselves. That's what I'm talking about. If you want, we got to start being real with ourselves. Stop settling for people just to not be alone. There's somebody out there for everybody. That's what I believe.
Damon DJ Jackson would say, stop pretending not to know what you know. A lot of us are pretending not to know something. If you don't know you by now, that's shame on you. I don't like this. That's not good for me. I'm going to direct my attention elsewhere. Got it. I like this. I only want to do this. If you're not with this, I'm not the one for you. We're not having those difficult conversations. Which aren't really difficult. It's just speak your piece. Hey, Ms. Day, I like it like this. You with it? No? Okay. We good though, right? Cool. Power to the people, right? And we move on to the next thing. No, we play around with it. Well, I think maybe I could get her to like it like this. When she done already said no. I don't like it like that. So find you somebody that like it the way you like it, or who's interested in learning the way you want to do it, whatever that might be. You do it like that, sky's the limit. But if you keep sticking around with the same stuff that you know you ain't going nowhere, you ain't going nowhere. So with that being said, you guys, it is our, what time is it?
9:21.
Right? I got to go to work early in the morning. Got to get that OT. With that being said, any final thoughts, any final words from the Grown Folk Network?
Oh man, it's good to be back. Learn yourself, love yourself, pull some hair, you know.
From the left side of the menu.
From the
what
left
else?
side of the menu, you know.
Oh, shoot.
Are you still in your 39s?
No, I'm 40. I'm 40. No. Yeah, with that doctor appointment, let me know you are 40. You are not 39
in his 40s.
No more.
He's in his
All right.
now.
Yeah, but I'm gonna be in my 40s for the next 20 years though. You know, 40s is the new 39.
Good luck.
40s is the new 39s.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Neighbors, we're asking you on Wednesdays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, if you could promote the podcast and let people know to tune in. We would greatly appreciate it. Make sure if you haven't to like, share, or hit the like button. If you haven't already gone out, hit it. And just share that we're here on Wednesdays so we can get more people in our conversations. Glad to be back. We missed y'all.
Yes.
Hit that bell. Hit that notification bell.
And don't forget, Cash App us. We are accepting donations.
Right? Hello.
Yes.
With that being said,
sponsorship. And we're also accepting sponsorships. So we are going to be going after them this season. I've already had the conversation with so yeah.
I'm gonna leave us with these last
Ready.
words. I appreciate you guys, grown folk. I appreciate you, the neighborhood. I'm gonna have this tough conversation, which is not gonna be a conversation. It's just gonna be a PSA, public service announcement. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, I don't care if you're in your 39s, your 40s, or your 50s, maybe in your 60s. if you don't have some form of insurance, medical insurance, life insurance, dental insurance, whatever. If you don't have some form of insurance, I don't care if it's only what you can afford, get some. Life is growing.
Holla at your girl.
Right? Holla at Miss T. Life is becoming shorter and shorter for those of us who are mature in age.
They also got pulling hair insurance too.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Get you some insurance, y'all. I'm not listening to neither one of them.
It's called lace front premium.
Get you some insurance. Wait a minute. Well, let me just mute they mics. Get you some insurance. On a serious note, there's nothing worse than growing ill, getting sick, and you can't go get looked at, checked on at the doctor. Please get yourself some insurance, you guys.
And I can give an example, a live example, just real quick. I do take Ozempic, right? It's $1,000, but the insurance that I had allowed me to pay $65. So get you some. Whether it's supplemental, full, it helps.
Holla at your girl. I got you on all of them.
Holla at Miss T, y'all, if you're looking for some insurance, and that was genuinely just take care of yourself. Life is happening around us. Some of us have been in the hospital. I'm happy to see those of us who were in the hospital out and back on their feet, but we got to take care of our bodies for the duration of the time that we have here on the earth. So get that insurance, you guys. Without further ado, from the desert to the sea, to all the cities in between, we're going to bid you all a good night. Thank y'all for being here, man. Episode 1 is in the books.
In the books.
In the books. Good night, y'all.
Night.